the fourth planet from the Sun and the second smallest planet in the solar system. Unlike other planets in the solar system, Mars has a distinctive red color due to the abundance of iron oxide on its surface. Hence it is also called the red planet. Mars has two natural satellites, Phobos and Deimos, which orbit quite close to the planet. However, scientists predict that in the future, Mars may only have one natural satellite left. Recently, a study revealed that the surface of Phobos, Mars' largest satellite, is developing strange cracks. This could be a sign that Mars' gravitational force is tearing this satellite apart. In the future, one day, it will be pulled toward the planet by Mars' gravity. The fate of Phobos will be extremely tragic. Either it will crash into the planet's surface, or worse, it will break apart into a dust ring around Mars. If that happens, Phobos could become the satellite with the most tragic fate in the solar system. So what is the truth behind this story? Let's find out together. Subscribe to the Ego channel. Not round and bright like other satellites, Mars' two satellites are not so fortunate, as they are often compared to potatoes due to their irregular shapes. Phobos is the largest of Mars' two satellites. At its largest point, it has a diameter of about 27 kilometers, while Deimos has a diameter of about 15 kilometers, nearly half the size of Phobos. In structure, they are similar to C-type asteroids and have unusual shapes, leading many to believe they are wandering asteroids captured by Mars' gravity. Others believe they are fragments ejected from Mars due to strong collisions in the past. However, the true origin of these two moons remains an unanswered question. Among Mars' two moons, Phobos is more notable due to its slightly larger size. It orbits Mars at a distance of about 6,000 kilometers. At this distance, Phobos completes one orbit around the red planet in 7 hours and 39 minutes. Meanwhile, a day on Mars lasts 24 hours and 37 minutes. This means the moon Phobos orbits the red planet 3 times a day. For comparison, Earth's moon has a diameter of about 3,475 kilometers. It is about 384,400 kilometers away from our planet, and the moon takes about 27 days to complete one orbit. The difference between Earth's moon and Phobos is vast. The moon is not only larger, rounder, brighter, but also has a more stable orbit. The moon's orbit has kept it stable around Earth for billions of years. But Phobos is facing a major problem. Its orbit is trapped in a death spiral, and this could lead to its demise in the not-too-distant future. NASA states that Phobos is gradually falling toward Mars at a rate of about 1.8 meters per 100 years. But that is not the most unusual thing. The most unusual thing that scientists are concerned about is its mysterious hard surface. Researchers discovered that Phobos' surface is not only marked by rugged impact craters, but also features grooves, like scratches on the surface. So what created these grooves on Phobos' surface? That is strange. It is unlike anything we have ever seen in the solar system. Many hypotheses have been proposed to explain this unusual phenomenon. The most popular and widely accepted theory is that the grooves formed when an ancient asteroid struck Phobos at some point in the past, leaving a 9.7 kilometers wide crater named Stickney on the moon's flank. However, you might have noticed something off here. If an asteroid hit Phobos, it would leave one or a few craters and could hardly create such peculiar lines. So ultimately, what created these lines? In a recent study published in the astrophysical journal, scientists stated that these grooves are actually the result of the moon Phobos being torn apart by the intense gravitational force of Mars. As it moves increasingly closer to the red planet, they used computer simulations to test the hypothesis that the moon's soft surface could lie on a cohesive layer of soil and rock beneath. The simulation showed that a buried hard crust could form deep canyons into which surface dust could fall, creating observable grooves on the surface. The researchers concluded, modeling Phobos as a rubble pile inside covered by a cohesive layer of material. We found that tidal forces can create parallel cracks with regular spacing. The idea behind this study is that when a small object approaches a larger one, in this case, as Phobos nears Mars, the smaller object is pulled toward the larger one. This phenomenon is called tidal force. For the moon Phobos, the tidal force acting on it is predicted to increase as it gets closer to the Martian surface, until the tidal force eventually becomes greater than the gravitational force keeping the satellite intact. At that point, Phobos will be completely torn apart, and the debris could form a small ring around the planet, similar to Saturn's rings. At the current rate, researchers predict Phobos will complete its death spiral and crash into Mars in about 40 million years. But if tidal forces have already begun tearing the moon apart now, the satellite could be completely destroyed much sooner. However, scientists are undertaking a bold project to understand the origin and evolution of Phobos as well as Deimos. A project called the Martian Moons Exploration, MMX, by the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency is scheduled to launch in 2024. The goal is to land an exploration rover on the surface of Phobos by late 2026 or early 2027. The mission includes a spacecraft orbiting Mars. The spacecraft will collect samples from Phobos and bring them back to Earth. Meanwhile, the rover will collect data on the surface of Phobos for about 100 days and then remain there. If the project succeeds, scientists will soon have samples from the moon Phobos. This will be crucial evidence for them to draw final conclusions about Phobos. So today, you and I have explored together the fastest rotating moon in the solar system, Phobos. In the future, this satellite will be wiped out and disappear forever. I hope the information just provided has given you insight into the future of Phobos. Wishing you an enjoyable video viewing. And now, please continue selecting videos on the left or right side of the screen to explore other mysteries of the universe together. Looking forward to seeing you in future videos. Warm regards, goodbye.